There are many concerning issues that are being faced globally, including education to all people. Leaders among 193 nations agreed on 17 sustainable development goals that are to help find solutions to these issues. Leaders have found that education is a must to every human being in this world. Education, by definition, is the process of receiving or imparting structured instruction, in particular in a school or university education. Education is what sets humans apart from other earthly creatures. Man is now the most intelligent being on the planet as a result. It gives people more power and prepares them for overcoming obstacles effectively. However, not all children have access to education. Attaining education is something that no one could ever take away from us. It is what shapes us into who we are and to be a decent human being. Knowledge is power and it makes us wiser. It fosters us with discipline, confidence, empathy, and teamwork. It leads us to contribute to our society and the progress of our nation. It can bring us to unknown heights individually and collectively.
Lack of education is prevalent around the world for a number of reasons. One reason is that there are many people who lack the money to send their children to school, which means that they must rely on other forms of education. In addition, many people are not able to attend school because they have other responsibilities in their lives, which makes it difficult for them to devote time to learning. The lack of educational attainment in the world has many negative outcomes. The first and most obvious is that there are many people who have never had access to an education. This can lead to a number of problems, including low income, poor health, and poor mental health. However, these outcomes can also be mitigated if those affected by them are able to access education and receive proper treatment.
For my core subject, since it's chemistry, the only way I evaluate is through exams, quizzes, and asking questions during the lecture. Ever since I just told my students that time is precious, they're not getting younger, so they must make use of the time. So they must be serious about their studies, no? So they should not waste time since they're not getting younger. Though we know school's still there. Not siguro the gadgets because we will learn that slowly, no? Siguro the problem is the assurance that my students are really listening during my discussion. Because even though I ask them to set their cam on to be sure that they are there listening, some still don't set their cam on for many reasons. That's my only problem for an online class. I have no assurance that my students are there listening, or maybe naka-on, they're just sleeping or doing something else, which I think you know. Siguro for me, the challenge of being a teacher is to, siguro for me, I really want all my students to pass. I really want them. Besides nga, they pass and they should learn also, no? From what you have discussed. So my big challenge is how I hope nga the whole class, I mean, every time I have a class, everybody pass. But still, there are few. They're still failing. My opinion, I think our education is okay. So we have always at standard man. So I think we base that more or less from US, right? So that's why we have senior high. So I think there's nothing problem with our education in the Philippines. I think the problem is, especially for those areas in the cities, they are since more populated, so there are more students, no? So what happens? Lack of buildings, more lack of teachers for those areas nga like cities, right? Pero we have also areas like yung dili na cities, wala sa kay estudyante. I mean, wala ba mabalance ba? I think we have done that already. We have we have public schools for starting sa elementary, right? And then up to high school and even senior high and even the tertiary. We have kanang mga state universities. Okay, a quality education dapat should produce professionals or graduates that are or a graduate will not only being knowledgeable but should also have a good character. Should develop a graduate that is the whole person itself ba?
How do you evaluate yourself? Are there any progress seen or not?
I think I would evaluate myself as a balanced student wherein kanang ganing balance ang academics niya, balance sad nimo ang mga pag kanang ganing personal stuff ingana. That's how I evaluate myself.
I evaluate myself as a student, knowing that every quiz magtuon ko, then I know that I study hard, I work hard, I know that I am capable of things, so I evaluate myself of 9 out of 10.
How do you motivate yourself to learn and to keep going in school?
Be honest, no, that is a pretty hard question because there are many things mangyud nga that can motivate you. But I think the very most important thing that motivates me is thinking about the future, knowing na ang course nga akong gipili is for my future as well.
So I motivate myself by kanang knowing where I came from, knowing where I need to go, where my goals. I motivate myself kanang always reminding me na dapat I need to achieve this so that in the future I won't fail and kanang get what my parents experienced ba as a child. Gusto ko nga lahi ko unlike my parents.
What has been the hardest part about moving your classes online?
I think it's the lack of socializing as well as adjusting and the combined stress because kana ganing face to face ma-separate man nimo ang stress from home and school. So when it comes to online, ma-combine na lang hinuon. That is part of the negative effects gid sa online class.
So the hardest part for me is as an extrovert, kanang lisod ko communicate sa mga tao, then it really gave me like I don't have the motivation kay I don't see people magod. I get kanang energy from others, so if I see others studying, I study myself na knowing nga online man to, so wala ko kay bawo na ako kay bawo wala koy gana, unmotivated.
What has been the biggest challenge being a student?
The biggest challenge is procrastinating lang yun. That's my biggest challenge kay lisod ko like being distracted all the time.
I think for me it's consistency. Kay knowing na I am a high honor student good from high school even until now, honor student magyapon ko. It's really hard to be consistent and to live up to the expectations nga I think that many people have set upon me.
As a student, what can you say about the quality of education here in the Philippines?
It's very poor, to be honest. Kay I think the teachers are being undervalued. Kay the teachers are what ignites the dreams of students man to become, let's say, an engineer, doctor, lawyer. So I think the education is poor since the government are not valuing the teachers as much.
So based on experience, quality of education sa Philippines is very bad, jud. It comes from like in your elementary. Pag elementary is teachers would constantly degrade me. Classmates constantly bullying me from high school. Uh, all the mga vices na ana sa, then quality of education like teachers really mga dili siya nindot jud bate kayo ang quality of education sa Philippines compared to other countries.
In your own opinion, how to provide education and make it accessible for everyone?
Other than, I know the government has already established public schools for those who cannot afford the tuition in private schools. Pero with the power of technology, we can use technology to let's say attach some modules about certain topics into the internet, create tutorial videos in YouTube, so that the kids, especially the students who haven't finished their studies yet, can follow through.
In my opinion, is to make college free lang, not and available to others, to the less privileged, kay not everyone have money to go to universities, and giving opportunities like atong mga workshops and things para ang mga kanang skills sa mga tao and maka-learn sila.
Still, in your own opinion, how to have a quality education?
I think the most important thing is that the government should value the teachers more, because they are the ones who bring quality education to the students man good. And if teachers are being undervalued, there is a chance that the teachers won't do their job well, and it also affects the students' future. And that is all.
To have a quality education is to have great teachers. So maybe we start with the teachers lang yun, kay how do you get education if imuhang own teacher kay bate good, so mga tao may.
History shows that over the last 2 centuries, education has grown significantly throughout the world. This is evident in all quantity measurements. Over the past 2 centuries, there has been an increase in the number of people around the world who are literate, mostly due to rising primary school enrollment rates. The average number of years spent in secondary and tertiary education has increased dramatically and is now significantly higher than it was a century ago. Despite all these advancements, some nations have lagged behind, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, where there are still nations with youth literacy rates below 50%. Highlights of the report, according to statistics on college graduation, bachelor's degree of which 2.038 million will be awarded in 2020, are the most in demand. All college graduates who earn a bachelor's degree also seem to be only 49.8%. 23.5% of people who earn a bachelor's degree take longer than 4 years to complete their coursework. An associate's degree is earned by 24.9% of college graduates. Over the past 10 years, the overall number of graduates has risen at a 2.8 yearly pace. In 2020, 4.090 million students, or 20.4% of all college students, graduated. There are 3 key pillars that support quality education: access to quality teachers, use of quality learning tools and professional development, and the establishment of safe and supportive quality learning environments. A good quality education equips all students with the skills they need to be economically productive, create sustainable livelihoods, support peaceful and democratic societies, and improve personal well-being. A quality education cannot be determined solely by test results or the speed at which a 5-year-old can read. Education is an important part of a person's life. With education, one can have stability and financial security. It increases the career opportunities and paths for oneself that allow for a stable and comfortable life without worrying too much about finances. When a person comes from a family in poverty, they will be able to get a job that will sustain their life and get them out of poverty.
As important as education is in our lives, it is clear to see that there is a severe gap between first world countries and third world countries in regard to education. For the next years, the main goal we strive for is global access to free and quality education. In order for the benefits of education to be reached and fully realized, we must do our part no matter how little. Sharing and teaching basic knowledge and information to the less fortunate is a small yet good start. Donating educational books such as mathematics, science, and English books will aid in their self-study and independence.